So there's So in this one, I think the first chapter of the book is what I'm going to explain to you guys about. This is how to be proactive, and in our life. And before we know how to be proactive, I would like to share some details around it. So with today's session, I will be explaining you a few things about what is proactive, what is reactive, and the concepts around it. And then I will also share what are the skills you need or how you can maneuver these situations in your personal life or professional life or anywhere you can apply this one. And with that one, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to share two pictures. And I would like each of you to take a minute, or if you have any, to throw in some comments about what do you see among these two different people in this, in the slides. Do you guys see anything among the person, about the slide specific to the people on proactive side or reactive side?
The
I think the
proactive
folks on the
guys
pro.
seem very
Sorry, go ahead.
joyful.
Can you come again, Satya? I think you were saying something.
The proactive guys, they seem very joyful. They seem to be.
Correct, correct. You're right. Yes, yes. Yeah, you were exactly on the point. Basically, the proactive mindset is where people find are very happy in nature. It is not that they're born happy or anything of that nature, but the way they see life is way different than the reactive people. And with that said, I would like to take you guys to the next slide and explain what the reactive mindset is, right? So it's not about people. Let me take the people concept aside and put it there on the table. It is a mindset, which is what we are focusing on this chapter. So the reactive mindset people are the people where they look at problems, right? Life is all about, hey, I have this issue, I'm not happy because of this, there's a lot of things happening there. And in this reactive mindset, people tend to blame others for any situation. So it's a natural thing, right? A lot of people as a human, we say, okay, I'm in this situation because of a certain person. I'll give you a perfect example, something which happened at my workplace. So I was in a meeting with my higher leadership, and I was explaining them that we have a issue about not recognizing people, in the area we could have done a little better. So when I shared it with my leader, he said, hey, great, go figure it out. And I'm like, okay, I was coming to you thinking that you'll help me with the solution. But then, that did not happen. So I just let it go and I read this book. And when I read this book, one thing which came into my mind is that specific situation in my life, right? I was expecting my boss to take the responsibility on that situation. I know the problem. I did not take responsibility. I was in a reactive mindset in that specific one. So I was like, hey, it is not something I own. It's somebody else owns it. It's not even in my space. So the reason why I'm explaining about that specific one is that's where my reactive mind was playing a tricks on me. And when I came to this, and what happens is when a person goes into a reactive mindset, so this circle that we see is all our issues, right? All our concerns. And what we tend to do is we cannot influence it. We always think that somebody else is going to come unlock our value, right? Or going to find us a solution. We just feel like we are fine, but we can't do anything about it. So that is the reactive portion of the life there. Any questions, anyone? Okay. So yeah, so in short, reactive mindset is a set of mindset where people think about blaming others, not taking responsibility, and enjoying the fueling of negativity a lot more. Like if somebody says, "Yeah, you're right," they'll be like, "Yeah, they get me. It's not a happy thing." So that's the reactive mindset. And now I'm going to talk to you about the proactive mindset. So the same example I was talking to you about at my workplace, right? After reading the book, one thing which came into my mind was, yes, I had a problem, but I did not go with to my boss with a solution. I was rather being in a reactive mindset, right? So then what I did is I went back with a solution, and it completely changed the way the things were, right? I took the responsibility. I said, hey, it doesn't matter. Let me reach out to the people. Let me go ask them, how can I help in this situation, right? And doing that, people loved the fact that I was trying to look for a solution. I was being more proactive in that mindset, right? I was trying to help and make a change and improvement for others. So when I did that, it completely unlocked the way people took me in my life at the same time. It also helped, me work on my proactive mindset. So here, if you look at it, right, the people who are proactive, what they do is they look for solutions. They look at all their problems, but then they say, yes, I have all these problems in my life, you know, but, you know, is there anything I could do differently to make it better, right? They take control of their issues. So they write it down and they say, okay, this is happening in my life, but I could also do this alternatively and not expect, somebody else to take change my life, right? A good example is, I would say, Valentine's Day. I know most of the people have enjoyed it yesterday, right? um, and one thing that came into my mind is, as a wife, I was expecting my spouse or my husband to be, lovey-dovey and, like get me whatever I have in my head, right? All these imaginations on a different front. So the expectations are something which I was creating in my, we would create in my head. But when things don't happen, yesterday, I said, it doesn't matter to me. It's not one day that a person has to be showing the love to me towards me, right? So there's a change of mindset. Previously, if before that, I would have been sitting there and say, okay, he forgets me, he doesn't care about, I would be entering into a negative space. But even though whatever the situation was and we were busy and the kids and whatnot, I was not expecting it. I was looking at it in a different angle. I said, hey, I am happy to have somebody who cares about me in my life, right? And more towards not expecting, but I was thinking about people when you're young, right? Oh man, I wish I have a Valentine, at that point of time, we used to think about it. So I just put a message saying that, hey, you can love your mom, you can love a lot of other people. And it changed my mindset on that situation. Rather than worrying about it or thinking that life, okay, it didn't happen, I changed it to be more proactive. So the reason I'm sharing is it makes a world lot of difference in a personal happiness and how you are, in the proact, if a person is in a proactive mindset. Um, and in this proactive mindset, people life will be amazing because they look at positivity, right? They look at how to make it better. They spend less time worrying about things, more time finding out, can they fix that issue and can they move on to the next one. So that is the best beauty of the proactive mindset. Any questions, anyone there? Okay. And so these are the two important concepts in this, 7 habits of highly effective people: the reactive mindset and the proactive mindset. If you're if feeling that you might be in a reactive mindset in some instances, you have to work it, right? Nobody is going to make it happen. It's us. We have to take charge of it, and we have to, naturally, we might be thinking about a reactive situation, but we have to pause, take a minute, and say, hey, yes, this is happening, but the way I would like to take this situation is a slightly different. So I would act on a side of a proactive mindset. So we have to keep working our muscles. So these muscles are not something, we have inbuilt. So once we start exercising these muscles of proactiveness, our outlook at life completely changes, and we'll be happy with even small things that happen in life, right? A small, like a beautiful tulips flower which is growing in your garden, that's an amazing thing. We will look at amazing small things to feel happy about than worrying about a big picture of, oh man, my life is all sad because I have all these issues, I don't have a job, nobody, everybody has a job. it's important what you're happy about, right? We have to know what those are and work towards it. And proactive mindset, what is the best thing about this proactive mindset is the people in this proactive mindset. This is the circle of concern. When I say circle of concern is, if you take all your issues in life, right, write it down, like maybe, take a minute, and if you start writing your issues down one after another, right? Okay, I can say, okay, I wanted to be this, whatever you have, just write it down on a piece of paper. But then the proactive people, if you see reactive people, what happens is the way they look at situation is they have the problems too, but they can't influence it because they're blocked with their own self, right? Proactive people, what they do is they have these issues, they say, some of these issues I do have a handle of it, some of these issues I do not have a handle of it, right? They know it. So what they do is they stop worrying about things that cannot be changed. Personally, I'll give an example. So my daughter, I know a lot of people look at me, I'm like, I have a beautiful hair. And when, during my pregnancy, everybody was like, oh, you're going to have a kid with so much of hair. And it happened that she has alopecia, which is baldness in kids. And it was very hard as a mother to go through it. I was blaming everything in life. It was not an easy situation to be. But then I had to take a step back and think about it. Yes, it's a problem, but I could be fueling myself by by getting sympathy from other people, right? Like, oh, this is a situation. I know there are instances people ask me if my kid has cancer, all hard things. It was not easy. But then I took a step back and I said, as a mom, I have to think about situation differently. If I am weak, I cannot change my kid's life, right? So then I started thinking about how can I be positive about the situation, right? How can I help her be a strong person than taking the situation and becoming a weak person? So at that point, I started using a proactive mindset of finding a solution. I know there is not a solve for this one in the science yet, so what I did is I know the fact there's no solve, but I just learned how to live with it, right? And how I can help her with it, right? So those are the things. I could just sit and keep blaming the whole world and do other things, but it's very important for us to look at those problems, whatever the problem is, figure out it. If it doesn't have a solve, it doesn't have a solve. Let's say health related stuff, right? If somebody who has diabetes or early, blood pressure, people have control. If they want to make a change in life, they'll start living healthy, trying to eat healthy, there is still a chance. So writing down those issues and see if you have a solve for it is a very crucial part. If you have a solve for it, to work towards that, right? Sitting there and saying, hey, I had my two kids, I can't lose weight, or anything of that nature, right? We have to change our mindset. I think once we do it, what we do is our circle of influence increases. So instead of saying that I have issues, among my issues, then I'll say I can live with it. It's okay. These are something I'm influencing. So the more issues you get, it doesn't matter. You're expanding your circle of influence. So when you're so open, your life completely changes towards it. And I know I'm getting a little emotional with this topic, but it is one of the important concepts. It can be applied at work, your personal life, with your kids, anywhere, with your in-laws, anywhere. You have to look at life in a different perspective. Nobody wakes up thinking about giving somebody hard time, right? It's important for us to look at internal is where we have the answer. For how we deal with it, the situation, is very crucial. And that's a proactive mindset there. And how to improve the skill, right? I explained to you guys what's reactive, what's proactive. You learn that the two different sides of the fence. And if you want to improve the skill, um, I would give a minute for each of you guys looking at the time at right now. Take a minute, write down all your concerns in life. Just take a minute. I can just wait for a minute, but take a minute, write everything, all your concerns in life, right? And once you're done, look at each of those issues and say, for this one, I'm okay with it, right? Or this one I have a solve. Like the example I was saying, if I have to lose weight or something easy like that, even though it's an issue of a person being in a certain state, can you modify it? Is it in your control? Can you do something to work towards it, right? Write those down and then start checking those list out, right? You will be surprised to see that among your list of 10, you probably can probably change three of them already by writing that list and finding a solution for those. So once you do it, it's important to prioritize too, right? You have to know, okay, I can do this, but everything cannot be done. But as long as you work towards a priority of, okay, this year, right now, my priority is to do this. Once I conquer, I'll do this one. Once you lay the things out, your number of like concerns, like that you have, the circle of influence would be like going bigger and bigger there. So I would highly recommend doing that exercise of writing your issues, finding out if you have a solve for it or no solve for it, or if you can do something else about it, and then working towards it. And that's the main thing about this specific chapter that I would like to, share. So this is the one we're talking about. Things within your control. Focus on things within your control. There are things which you cannot change, but thinking about it doesn't get you anywhere. But focusing on things in your control is a crucial one. So right now, if this is the circle of concern, this is the influence. I hope by the end of the session, at least few of you could change the mindset of becoming of more increasing your circle of influence. And that's why this change of your focus and the first habit about how to be proactive was explained by this specific author. So hope this helped you guys, and thank you all for patiently listening to me. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'm happy to share more details on this specific topic as well. And I'll give it back to Divya unless you guys have any questions.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you so much. It's wonderful. I can think about few problems that I can't fix. Uh, it is so proactive. I mean, it's really a good principle to follow through, Priya. Thank you. Any questions, my dear friends? Any question regarding this? Yeah, Suma, yeah,
No
please go ahead.
questions, but it was a really nice session. Thank you, Priya.
Oh, thank you, Sma. Thank you, Divya. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, even I wanted to say the same thing. Thank you, Priya. It was really, really nice session. Like between proactive and reactive, the circle of influence is what is the difference, right? All the people
Correct.
have the problems. It just the more the bigger is your circle, they look happy. We just compare with them, but everyone has similar kind of issues, one here one there, right? It's just that is what
Yes.
is making them control over their life. So it is
Correct.
beautifully said. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
because
very much.
it's amazing, right? Like once we know, the thing is we don't know that there is a chance that we can change it. And I think once we
Right.
know it, I think it's amazing that it's one habit, but that habit can be applied so many ways. We look at a person, we think they're so happy. We look at Facebook and say, oh man, they're the happiest people. Their life is perfect, no issues.
Yes.
But reality, I think they might have something behind that. They are showing the happiness to overcome it, right? So it's
Right.
important how we take the life. We choose to be in a reactive mode or a proactive mode. But I'm pretty sure all of you guys are want to be in a proactive mode, right? Or already in a proactive mode in there. So cool.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much, Priya. Beautifully said.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions, my dear friends? Priya, we typically have 1 hour session, Priya. So maybe around 20-25 minutes of wisdom sharing, just like what you did today. And the rest of the time, we just go into meditation.
Hmm.
That's what we do, Priya. You can stay for meditation if you want. And it's a very powerful days. So tomorrow is a full moon day. And today, tomorrow, and the coming for Thursday are really very powerful for meditation.
Yeah,
I hope you.
I'll stay on for the meditation too.
Yeah. Thank
And
you, Priya.
Joshita, I will share the presentation with you guys so that you can have it.
Yeah. That'll be wonderful, Priya. So, Swarupa, can you play the music?
Divya, I joined through phone, Divya. I can't.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm on the phone to Swarupa. Listen, just saying. Shushma, do you have access to system?
One, one minute.
I joined the
Let
phone
me.
as well.
Okay. I mean, I
Let,
have a kid around me. Even if I do it, it won't be pleasant for you guys.
yeah, yeah. I will join from the laptop. 1 second.
Yeah, sure, Sarva. Take your time. Yeah. We can take few more questions in the meanwhile. Anyone have any comments or any questions regarding this topic or any other questions regarding meditation? Any newcomers today to the call who wants to know how to do meditation? Sushma, any more questions?
Uh, no, Divya, no questions. I think no questions from anyone. So what you said, right? So these 3 days, it's a Paurnami. So the meditation effect is 3 times more powerful. So all of you, I would just suggest whatever you are practicing, do more practice. It will be more beneficial on these days. Basically, we take this Paurnami helps more than normal days. Just wanted to say that. I think Surupa will start some music. So, Divya, should I tell everyone to start the meditation?
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Yes, Sushma.
okay. Yeah. So, everyone sit comfortably, clasp your hands, cross your legs, and gently close your eyes. And just focus on your natural breath. Let us all take 3 long, deep breaths. Inhale, pause, exhale, and relax. Inhale, pause, exhale, and relax. One last time. Breathe in, pause, breathe out, relax. Just focus on your breath, master. It's just you and your breath.
Slowly place your hands on eyes for 5 seconds. Count of 5, open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly open your eyes. Thank you, masters. Thank you.